Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a spade review on the ARL-44 Tank Destroyer. Now, one thing I haven't done in a while is a bit of history, so I might as well do a bit of history now, I think, because I actually know a bit about this tank. So the ARL-44 was obviously a development of a French, well, it started out in life as a heavy tank, but in 1950 it was, well, this model was reclassified as a tank destroyer, because obviously it's got a 90mm gun. It's got heavy tank frontal armor, but not the turret, is all I'll say. And well, the suspension, as you can see, the tracks and everything, that is actually based off the B1 Biz. So that's pretty interesting. This tank has well, the engine in it is actually a Maybach HL. Is it the 230? I can't bloody remember. I know it's a Maybach engine. And well, it has 600 horsepower and propels this 50-ton beast. Well, not much of a beast, but we'll go over the armor in a short while. To a top speed of 23 miles, well, 23.2 miles per hour. It's not the fastest thing in the world when you get it stock, and the suspension with the tracks having very little grip, you are not going to get into many positions that I normally use in tanks. You're not going to get up there easily. This thing does not like to climb terrain. It's one of those vehicles where it just really struggles to get into a good position, and obviously, especially when you're stock, you'll notice that struggle. So obviously, this thing's got pretty okay mobility for its size. What's the armor like? Well, let's go over it. So the frontal armor is 120 millimeters thick. This will basically stop anything you see. Pretty much anything, at least. You've got a ball mount for the fixed forward firing machine gun, which doesn't actually work. Your lower glacis is weak at 50mm, sloped to 63, so you're going to have to watch that. That is for certain. Panthers will go through that, King Tigers will go through that, but to be honest, they don't really need to aim here. There's a big reason for that. The turret front, it's only 110mm thick. And that sounds tough, but it isn't. Obviously, you'll be fighting the Germans most of the time, so that won't help. And when you do fight the Allies, they can also penetrate you with their 76mm. The gun mantler is actually modelled wrong. From what I can find, the gun mantler, which is obviously this section here, should be around about 150mm thick from what I've been able to find. And so far, it's just 66. Bit weak, isn't it? The side armor is 50mm thick, the side of the turret is 60. The rear is 20, which is just pathetic. And, well, the rear is 35. This tank is also very vulnerable to anti-aircraft, or aircraft in general, and anti-aircraft units. Well, let's just say we had we had an incident on, what's it called? On Normandy. Let's just say we had an incident. And we also had a friendly fire incident, but that will come into play when the AMX-13 DCA Spade review comes out. So what about the gun? Surely this thing's not got the best armor. I mean, the front plate's actually pretty good. But surely this thing's got to have the firepower to back it up. Well, it does, in some aspects. We're running a 90mm long-barreled gun with, well, as you can see, armor piercing capped. This is really the only shell you should be carrying in this tank. I don't really recommend the high explosive rounds. They don't seem to be that effective. Unless you're fighting a truck, and even then, an AP will be more than gladly to do the job, and so will your 7.5mm machine gun. 240mm of penetration at 0 degrees at 10 meters. Not bad. This gun puts it on par with a Panther and near to a King Tiger. It's got a good it's got a good package in terms of firepower. Now, do I recommend going up the line to spade this thing? Personally, I wouldn't. I think this is a tank destroyer that you can comfortably skip. It just doesn't have that good armor, especially on the turret. I mean, the front plate is pretty much immune to most of what you'll see, but no one ever shoots it. But the main reason is that this tank doesn't really have anything to back it up in terms of if you get into an up tier as well, because you will get a lot of up tiers, I find, in this thing. So obviously, when it comes to French tank forces, there are a few options that you can bring along, such as the Jumbo, the AMX-13 DCA-40, which will be the next Spade review, the SA-50 Sherman, and, well, if you really want to, the AMX-13 FL-11, although I don't really recommend this. There's not a lot of options for this thing's backup, and obviously another one is the French Panther Dauphine, but obviously that's a premium, it's 6,000 gold needles. I think it's a bit overpriced, but it could be a good backup if you do have it. But let's go over the stats before we begin with obviously the replay and everything. Here we are, 23 deaths, 83 kills. No air kills, obviously. Not bad, but obviously one of those deaths could have been avoided, but that incident has been sorted out, let's just say. But anyway, let's jump into the battle, and that's not it. That is squadrons. I'm still in JMY. I need to delete that one anyway. Yes, I'm still in JMY for the moment. Like I say, I obviously will be starting my own squadron when we hit 250, so here's hoping. But been staying in JMY a bit, and well, Jamunky and me have had a few conversations and things like that. Obviously I've seen a couple of his guys and everything. And what I've noticed is that ever since I've joined JMY, it's been a bit more, well, not many squadrons tend to focus me, I notice. JMY is quite a low-key squadron, which is what I like. Because then people aren't just going to be like, oh look, there's an experienced player. Bang! They won't necessarily check. So, recommended ammo loadout. Obviously, you can see that I wasn't fully spaded in this battle. Of course, this dickhead in the Panther, he annoyed me, so I am going to swing the turret around. As you can tell, though, the turret is slow. I think it's like 14 degrees a second. It is not fast at all. I just fired one of my shells just to say, fuck you as well, pretty much. Now, luckily for me in this game, I was on the German side. So that's always nice. We've also got the Russians on our side. That's always nice. We also have the Chinese. Again, that's always nice because they have M18s. Now, in this battle, I believe I was working on the engine mods. In fact, I think I was on. I think I was working on transmission at this time. And even though I haven't got all the upgrades yet in this battle, obviously, it does drive really, really nicely. Obviously, the fact that you'll have troubles with traction on the tracks, yeah, you're going to get that a lot. The suspension is rather poor, because obviously it's based on a 1930s design. This tank was built in 1940... Oh, I can't remember now. It was either 46 or 49. One of the two. It was built in one of those time periods, shall we say. But when you get this gun on target, as you can tell, does the bloody job. First kill. Now that Sherman is going to be a bit of a pest over there, that EZ8. He's going to be a bit of a pest, let's just say that. So first shot out, I hit the gun mantlet, it does nothing. That thing got a gun mantlet buff, which it quite frankly deserved. And well, the T-23 turret on a Sherman is pretty trollish. So next shot, I hit the transmission, and it doesn't go any further. Yeah, this is just, like, it's one of those shells where some days you'll be devastating tanks left, right, and centre, but some days you will be struggling to penetrate some targets. You can kill jumbos in this thing. However, past around about, I'd say 700 meters, you shouldn't even bother. You should wait for a side shot. But otherwise, you will have good results with this gun for the most part. Obviously, the armor, as you can see, is holding up. I mean, we are taking hits to the side of the turret, but the turret is holding up pretty okay. So obviously we have got teammates supporting us on the right flank. Obviously we've got a jumbo that's just been killed on the right flank by I think it was a Panther. And obviously I'm pinned down by that Sherman and that Walker Bulldog that you can see there. So obviously I'm obviously very unconfident about the armor on this thing. That's why I'm taking my time with my shooting and all that, and went in to pull out for a shot. disabled that Walker Bulldog's gun breach and turret drive, as well as took out his commander, but for some reason he just sits there. I honestly don't know why. Obviously, I knew his gun was out, so I could afford to move up. And, well, there goes that Sherman. Second kill. You've got to play this thing really carefully. As a sniping tank, it works really well, because obviously the shell has 1,000 meters per second muzzle velocity. Third kill. And I just think this tank is best used as either a sniper or a brawler. Now, I know some people are going to be laughing at this point, saying, hold on, you just said the armor's shit, so why are you suggesting to use it as a brawler? Well, think about it. This thing's massive, and chances are people are going to be aiming for either your front plate or your lower glacis. Unless they have to crank their gun up, which chances are they will. And due to your size, you'll be able to depress your gun and hit their angled armor, if they have it, flat on, pretty much. So think about it that way. And there was a great match I had on what was it, Ergen Forest? I got 7 kills by playing this thing as a brawler. It can work. Obviously, as a sniper, it can work. But obviously, with the turret armor being as poor as it is, you're going to have to be really careful. But yes, for those of you who obviously are not in the Discord, I will tell you briefly what the incident that I mentioned was. So obviously, if you're in the Discord already, you know about this, but essentially, me and James was on Normandy, and, well, I missed that shot on that Sherman there. Wasn't really aiming, to be honest. I let the team know about it. But, obviously, at the time, I was not far off Spain in this thing, and essentially, James' actions with his positioning and his vehicle engagement cost me my ARL. After that, obviously, James, being a child that he was at the time, he has apologised for it, so please don't give him shit. He has apologised for it. Don't go onto his YouTube channel and give him shit, because like I say, he did apologise for his actions, even if his actions were extremely over the top. And he then came back in his JU-88, or JU-288, the premium, obviously, and he bombed me in my AMX 13 DCA instead of Sherman. He did come back and bomb that Sherman, but he basically said that apparently I deserved the bomb, which I did not. I did everything correctly. It's just he could not deal with a simple AA, and yeah. But he's realised his wrongdoing. Everything's all sorted. Please don't give him shit. So in that game, he basically cost me 2 vehicles. But even so, it was something that happened and everything. But to be honest, we've moved on from it. So I just thought, in case you went in the Discord, I thought I'd mention it. And well, there's the suspension being perfectly adequate right there. This thing might as well be a hot rod with how this thing sometimes bounces. Or like one of those drag cars where, like a Dodge Demon, like the Hellcat, or the Dodge Challenger Demon, or the Hellcat, where it will, if you give it enough bootful, and you don't warm up your tyres, it will pretty much drag its wheels in the air. That's how this thing feels like to drive sometimes. But obviously, you've seen here, the gun is pretty adequate for most situations. Like I say, some tanks you will struggle with. King Tigers, IS-2s will be a pain. Panthers can be a pain, but you can go through their front plate, so that's always nice. You can see Super Pershings. Do not engage, is all I will say. Because, well, it's a Super Pershing. I mean, if you've got a side shot, feel free, but don't engage a Super Pershing from the front. But for the most part, this tank can be pretty competitive. M18, obviously you can see one dead right there. They can be a bit annoying. Now, one thing I noticed about the 7.5 coax is that it's got very low ammo capacity. You've got a lot of ammunition for it, but you have a very low magazine count. So if you are planning on using your coax to like mark a position or deal with an anti-aircraft, just remember that, because that could be the difference between an AA flanking you and getting you in the side, and not getting you in the side and you killing them with a coax. Obviously, you've got to remember that this thing does not have a heavy caliber machine gun on it, so you won't be able to kill everything. So you will have to use your gun for most targets. Obviously, at this point, the enemy team's been reduced to pretty much SPAA and a couple of Shermans. And, well, I am moving up to this, or to near their spawn. There's a nice little spot that I decided to use. I have used this spot before, and it works really well for me. Obviously, we're nearing the end of the game, and, well, the enemy team just kept respawning, really. I really don't understand why, but obviously the mobility is serving me perfectly fine here. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it certainly isn't the world's slowest vehicle. So obviously I see that M19. I go for the transmission first. I was aiming for the driver, really. But the coax finishes him off, 4th kill. Like I said, coax is going to do some work, especially against those light armoured anti-aircraft vehicles. Obviously you would have seen my impressions on that M19. Really good anti-aircraft is all I have to say. Well, let me tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet with the AMX. The AMX is even better. Let's just say, if the AMX-13 DCA-40 had 2 guns, I'd be playing it constantly. Sherman drives out, he doesn't even see me. I fired a coax to see if he was alive, or like, the spawn protection had worn off. Sure enough, it had, so I put a 90mm right in his face. 5th kill, there's my ace. You may see it was a bit scummy, but to be honest, where else am I going to go? And well, kill number 6. That poor M16 half-track is all I will say. But that's pretty much the end of the game. Obviously, the enemy team do stop respawning eventually because they just kept losing too many vehicles. But like I say, this tank requires careful driving. Obviously, if you're on a city map like Advanced in the Rhine, try it as a brawler. It may not work for you, but I found it to. But like I say, I had when I first got this thing, I had a terrible time with it. I did not know how to drive it. I did not know how to play it. But eventually, I started getting games like this, and I realized I was wrong about this thing. I was going to title the video as Cheery or Cheery 2 Part 2, obviously with the name ARL, but no, I decided not to. Since I had a much better time once I got used to this thing, it just felt better to play than a Cheery 2. But like I say, you are going to want to take into account, obviously, your weak turret armor. I mean, anti-aircraft will give you a hard time, but it's a fun vehicle to play. Let's just say that. But like I say, though, be prepared for a lot of up tiers, especially against the Germans. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's review on the ARL-44 Tank Destroyer, and I will see you all on the next one.